This video features a paid partnership with BetterHelp, more on them later. So I have a confession for you. A few months ago, I was planning on leaving everything. I was planning on deleting my YouTube channels, leaving my flat, Scotland in general, and possibly even changing my name again completely. I was going to keep my number and keep in contact with my friends, but I wasn't planning on telling anyone where I was going. I was simply going to pack up my belongings, leave the country and vanish. I would create a whole new identity, I would complete my PhD under a new name, and I would start life from scratch. Now, this wouldn't be completely out of the realm of reality for me. I mean, it's the reason I first moved up to Scotland and legally changed my surname on a whim, again, without telling anyone. Life can be really overwhelming, and sometimes you just want to run away from it all and start from scratch. I was tired of doing everything alone. I was tired of working non-stop 7 days a week without the ability to afford help. I missed reading books for fun and doing graphic design. I didn't have any time to exercise anymore or the willpower to eat healthily because the haunting weight of my workload and the pressure I had on myself to survive and do everything well just completely crushed my autonomy. I was desperate to shed the weight from me. I just wanted to destroy and leave everything that I'd ever built up over the years, that I'd sacrificed so much more at just the click of a button, because the pressure was just too much. And I was too ashamed that I couldn't even maintain the basic little sandcastle that I'd built for myself. I resented it all because I'd lost my personality to it. I had no life. I wasn't doing what I loved, which was reading and writing my stories and studying. I wasn't living or laughing anymore, or drawing or painting or acting. My life revolved around the fear of not doing enough, not being enough, not earning enough, not achieving enough. And that was when I knew that I was a shell of who I was. And shells are easy to discard and abandon. This is the story of my burnout and the story of how I'm trying to overcome it. I'm not there yet. So burnout is not a trend. Too many people are burned out. Burnout has become one of those irritatingly trendy terms nowadays. You know, everyone is claiming that they're burned out, and when you hear your favourite multi-million-dollar celebrity on TikTok or Instagram tell their tales of how much they're burned out, you likely feel the urge to throw your phone against the wall and scream into a pillow. But saying a multi-millionaire can't be burned out would be the equivalent of saying that they can't possibly have depression or anxiety. Mental health in life doesn't work that way. Rich and privileged people can experience burnout as much as an overworked nurse on the NHS can, because burnout is the byproduct of capitalism, and we're all products of capitalism. Burnout has been recognised as a medical diagnosis by the World Health Organization as an occupational phenomenon. Burnout is diagnosed by 4 symptoms: feelings of energy depletion, exhaustion and fatigue, increased mental distance from your job, and feelings of negativism or cynicism related to your job, and reduced professional efficiency. The demands of modern life have drastically affected our work-life balance and stresses, and the lines between work and home have become increasingly blurred. A recent survey from Slack found that burnout is on the rise globally, most significantly in the US, with 43% of middle managers reporting burnout, more than any other work group. And over 4 million American workers quit their jobs each month in 2022. And when you're burned out, quitting your job sounds like a sensible move, doesn't it? You know, when I discussed with my friends my feelings surrounding my workload, those who cared about me suggested I just quit my job. But that didn't seem to be the answer. See, research from Gallup in 2020 revealed that 76% of employees experience burnout on the job at least sometimes. But working less wasn't enough to reduce the stress, improve their well-being, or prevent burnout. That's because burnout is not the same thing as stress. Burnout is related to how people experience their work, not always the work itself. So whilst you can use certain techniques to manage stress or take a break or go on holiday, burnout is the result of a cumulative unmanaged stress and a sense of feeling resentful of the impact your work is having on your quality of life. So taking a break doesn't change that. If you are relating to any of this, I think this would be a good point to take a moment to tell you about today's paid partnership, which is with BetterHelp, because they can seriously be of service to you throughout this. I've been using BetterHelp for over 2 years now. I did it for 2 years with one therapist, and I recently just started again around a month ago. And I also encouraged 4 people in my life to join BetterHelp, and all are thriving and doing better thanks to it. So I'm really excited to be partnered with them today. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy accessible. You see, even when you get enough confidence to go out and find a therapist, finding a good therapist can be really hard, and that can ultimately discourage you. But BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist really easy. You don't have to spend hours searching the internet or travel to get support. It's entirely online and remote, and you can be matched with a credentialed therapist in less than a few days after filling out a simple questionnaire. They match you based on your needs and the type of therapist you would like. And it's a bit like dating. You know, sometimes the therapist that you're given isn't a good match for you, but it's easy to switch and find another at no extra cost. See, I got lucky. Both times I've signed up, I literally hit it off with a therapist first go. My first therapist totally transformed my life and helped me deal with decades worth of trauma, whilst my second therapist is here to help me with my confidence and my burnout. Whether you suffer from depression and anxiety, or you're just going through a really difficult stage in life, therapy can give you the tools that you need to approach your life in a very different way. It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in my description, and it's betterhelp.com/Cinzia DuBois, spelled out below. Clicking that link helps support my channel, but it also gives you 10% off your first month at BetterHelp, so that you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. So what causes burnout? Research by Christina Maslach and Michael P. Later at the University of California at Berkeley and Acadia University respectively identified 6 factors that lead to burnout. Workload, perceived lack of control, reward, community, fairness, and values mismatch. Whenever there is a discrepancy between you and one of these 6 factors or more related to your work, there is a chance of burnout. Looking at my case study, it's easy to see what happened. I was overworked, doing everything alone. I don't have a team, so I had no sense of community. I felt like I couldn't control how well I did with my work because no matter how hard I worked, I was always battling against a fluctuating YouTube algorithm and attempting to capture the attention of changing, unpredictable audiences every week, resulting in me not feeling like I was rewarded for the amount of work that I was putting in, and then not feeling rewarded about my life as a whole because I no longer did hobbies or like reading books. So how am I trying to recover from burnout? Recovery from burnout will depend on your individual relationship to any one of the 6 factors I just mentioned. You may feel burned out because your workplace isn't fair and your boss is overwhelming you with responsibilities or deadlines, or your values may not align with those of your bosses or your companies or even colleagues. Only you can identify the specifics of your circumstances and act in a way to mitigate their impact on you. Now, we can't always change our circumstances, but we can change our approach. I know I can't afford to take time off work. I can't go on holiday, nor can I hire help. Still, I can adjust my workload by making my projects smaller and more frequent, changing the medium in which I publish my work. Like I will force myself to stop working at a particular time at night so I can make more time for studying or reading or having fun. And getting up earlier in the day will help me carve out more time to work and then end my day earlier. Have I overcome burnout? Absolutely not. I'm still very much at a stage where I dread facing my computer every morning, and there are nights where I wake up at 3 a.m. and start working because I can't sleep due to the anxiety of all the work that I need to get done. But it's getting better. You know, the other night I actually read 50 pages of a book, which I haven't done in one sitting in over 2 years. I'm seeing a therapist again, like I said, and keeping contact with my friends. I've even started planning out short stories that I want to write for the first time in over 3 years, and I've begun learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons with the hopes of joining my first campaign if someone will take me. They're not impressive accomplishments, but they're far more colourful facets of my life than just doing the same thing day in, day out, and wondering why I'm struggling to get out of bed. You know, like he said, insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. So this is my attempt at breaking the insanity loop I was in and overcoming my burnout. If you're struggling with burnout, I really hope you help. But having a therapist again is really helping me just talk through my feelings. So if you want to try BetterHelp, the link is in the description box below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves and be kind to yourself, particularly if you're experiencing burnout. Remember, you can always send me a video request. There is a Google form in the description box below if you have anything you'd like me to approach, particularly in a video. And I will see you soon for another video. And remember, books save lives, so keep reading.